Salute. Wootesa. Emilo Latimo Mohoye. The dead Lafia. Divine risings and rotations. Beloved army, beloved army. Kuumba and Imani. Because yesterday I didn't do Kuumba. So I share that today in this spirit. I don't blame people for being weak. I blame strong people for accepting weakness as their role. Sometimes the appearance of weakness or the life of the weak, the submissive, the humble, can appear easier because it's less conflictive. But it's no saying that say only the weak survive. It's a saying that say only the strong survive, but even in that, it's not talking about strong physically. It's talking about strong psychologically, strong spiritually. Sometimes in life, I get in these spaces where I'm like taking one blow after another blow, 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 after another blow. And if that's kind of starting to sound a little irritating, well, because I'm not weak, that's what it is to me. It becomes irritating. It's like I'm built to take the blows, but the blows start feeling like, you ever be around that person that keep poking you? Every time they talk to you, they gotta poke you to say something, and they poking you, and they poking you, and they poking you to get you. Well, that's what life is doing to me sometimes. Shit, that's what life does to me a lot. Um, for those who don't know, at 18, I went to prison. And I stayed in prison until I was 40. Now, for y'all who never experienced incarceration, that may sound like, oh, you just went to prison, you went away for a while, blah. But if you think you got traumas in society, you ain't seen a trauma until you trapped in a cage with the traumas that you can walk away from in society. This world, weak people can stick around for a little longer. In prison, if you're weak, you either need to quickly become strong or you die. Because you enter into a space that is not only a caged in project, experiment, but it's an insane asylum. So not only do you have to master being able to defend and protect yourself, but you have to master maneuvering through thousands of mentalities every day. And I went there for 21 years and 6 months. Now, my life before that wasn't a great place either. Filled with all the typical things that take place in American concepts of poverty. I've seen the worst of poverty and I've seen the best of poverty. And then I got out and I thought life was going to be like this easy street, right? Not necessarily easy because I'm a realist too, but I definitely thought relationships would work. I thought friendships would work. I thought family ships would work. And all that shit crashed. Some of that shit crashed and burned. And it crashed and burned. And I was in the flames. And I spent months and years in the flames. And nobody knew I was going through the flames. Nobody knew I was going through the traumas. Nobody knew. You know why nobody knew? Is because I was in this space psychologically where I felt like if I told people, what could they do for me? You know what I got? I got people telling me you should go and get therapy. And I'm like, a few hours in therapy is not going to change 42 years of hell. Of course, there were moments in this hell where there was heaven. And I'm talking about before now. Because we talking about doing the therapy to get over the things from traumas and PTSDs and shit like that, right? But people can only understand you that have experienced what you've experienced. And so I say that to say all of this. I share that to share this. I go through the darkest things because I am a voice for us. I endure things that other people give up on because I am a fighter for us. I respond and I live my life in a manner that's different than everybody else because I'm doing something for us. And even if the us is not the us that's of a certain age bracket, but the us that's of the future. See, you lay a seed, it doesn't instantly grow into something, it becomes something. You lay a seed in the souls of this world and the souls of the earth, Asasia, or you lay a seed or seeds in the souls of people's minds and it eventually becomes something. But the toiling of the ground is painful. Sometimes it even draws blood. You know. And then I think, if I feel the way that I feel sometimes, how does the weaker person feel? I'm not weak, so how does the weak person feel? How does a person that has not been given the capability to stand up no matter what they're going through, to smile even when the world has given them everything worthy of crying for them to find the things to smile for? See, because it's easier to frown when the majority of the world is distributing or distributing you things to make you frown. But it takes a strong-minded person to see the illumination in the clutter of darkness. It takes a strong-minded person to see the illumination in the clutter of darkness. It takes creativity. It takes faith. It takes somebody with a mind state to say, with a heart, with a spirit to say, no matter what the fuck is going on right now, man, this shit getting ready to get real good. This is the test. When you start looking around you and you start looking at shit and you like, yo, this shit just don't make no motherfucking sense what's taking place right now. This is the test. See? Because before you can legitimately bear a crown, you got to legitimately show that you are worthy of that crown. for the brothers and the sisters, for the young and the old. Before you can legitimately claim to be an elder, you got to prove that you can weather the storm, you know? How do you prove that you can weather the storm? How can you prove that your wisdom to the nation to weather the storm is worthy of embracing? Because you've been through the fucking storm, because people have watched you go through the storm. They watch people put you down, and you build up your muscles to not only lift yourself up, but lift their dumb asses up, because you became strong enough to lift them up off of you. But they still held on, so you just carried them. Some of these motherfuckers, you carry them until they appreciated what you was doing for them. And some of these motherfuckers, you carry them until they fell off because they realized you ain't gonna break, you ain't gonna fold, and you ain't gonna fall out this motherfucker. You just gonna keep getting stronger. Some of my sisters have endured the worst of fucking shit, and people start falling off when they start to realize that they can't break you. And now you see people falling off because they realize that they can't break you. Some of my brothers, you went through the worst shit, and their motherfuckers are starting to fall off because they realize they can't break you. They can't mold you into what they want you to be. That's going to be most conducive to them. Because you going to keep doing what the fuck you need to do to be who you supposed to be. It's not even about you gonna keep doing what you need to do for it to be most conducive to you, because you ain't here for you. You here for a bigger picture. So you endure shit that nobody else wants to endure. You endure shit that nobody else can endure because you're here for a bigger picture. So your energy, your muscle, your might, your power, your divinity comes from some space that motherfuckers in this world can't fathom. That's why when they frown and they wondering how the fuck are you smiling. That's why when they're falling, they wondering how are you standing. Because they realize that not only is your life like theirs, but they add more motherfucking weight onto your bullshit. They add more weight onto you. They add more stress onto you. And they wonder how the fuck are you still standing? How are you still smiling? How do you find a fucking reason to laugh and love and live out this motherfucker? Because they can barely take the pressure that they got. That's why they trying to shift some of that shit to you. They trying to shift some of that shit to you because they can't take that shit. And they wondering, how are you not only taking it, but you're thriving? Because see, sometimes we complain about our circumstances and our conditions, but we seem to forget to look back at where we came from. 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 2 years ago, 2 decades ago, into where we're at now. So no matter how crazy shit starts to look, you start to realize, yo, I'm still in a better motherfucking place than I was 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 2 years ago, 2 decades ago. And that shit gives you reason to keep pushing. That shit gives you reason to keep focusing. That shit gives you reason to keep striving and thriving, keep connecting, keep communing, keep building, keep being successful, because you are already successful. No matter how this shit look right now, I promise you, this success level finna elevate so fucking far and beyond. If you ain't preparing right now for this success that's getting ready to come to you, that's when you gonna be stressed the fuck out. Because you didn't prepare for the shit that's coming, because some great shit coming, because you keep going. And the universe see that you keep going. That already see that you keep going, so it's gonna reimburse you for your continuance. Stay focused, stay positive, stay around focused and positive people. Never lose who you are once you know who you are. Never sacrifice who you are for nothing and nobody. Don't just wake up, get out of the bed and stay out of the bed and assist others in rising from that slumber. Alafia farano womo nife reila nidi wope aka sima kayeri oyon kupon naka kayeri frama umuntu inga bantu lai ni waju korisegi. Fiede no iya soto ato frako wajibu. Nakupenda usifiwe. Nakupenda usifiwe. Nakupenda usifiwe. Salute. Peace and motivation. Wholeness. Wholeness and motivation. Have an illuminating day. Be fruitful. And as they say, multiply. One.